All right, whiteboard lesson. So we're going to look at some graphic organizers for our thoughts here. Your typical martial art is going to give you a lot of ways to do it down at the bottom. And a lot of stuff's going to come out at the top. And, you know, lots of ways to explain how we got from here to here. Hey, maybe someone drew a circle with a line from there. And what that is, then, is some number of methods across the bottom. And then whatever it is exactly that you're doing at the top. And if you did something over there, let's say, using those methods, how much of what you learn over here is going on? So there's some kind of math equation if you're so inclined. But we're looking at, there's a greater distance, if you will, really close, straight up, but really far over here. So somewhere in the middle is your ideal. Now, your typical martial art is going to get, your American martial art, you're going to have your wrestling on one end of our bottom. You're going to have our weapon system on the other end of our bottom. And let's just have them go for these ideal points on the edges for this representation. And then you got your boxing in the middle. And then maybe in weapons they add kicks, right? And so then you have this kickboxing weapons merger. So a stronger relationship. And then boxing, clinching and stuff, but then wrestling and boxing diverge. But between the three, you could average out, and let's say our triangle points might be coming out somewhere in the middle in here, right? Somewhere between weapons and boxing. I'm going to trust that spot, are you? Oh, I'm a little angry. Right? And then, what's up in here between boxing and there's a big gap. So like the jiu-jitsu people got in there with the Brazilian jiu-jitsu and filled in that gap. If we identify those parts with some labels, you've got your weapon system, your long, short, and grapple fighting system ranges, and your ground ranges. And then as I defined, you have your specific goal up here, which could be any of these, which we discussed with this one, remember? It could be any of those. It might be the one you did like that. Your version of that is overlaid in this thing here. That's what all those wiggly lines are all about. And I don't know, looks like I drew a ground fighting drift in everybody's game. I'm a realist. Everyone's like, what's going on? All right, there's a huge drift. So reality caused a drift in this particular example because of that huge hole I mentioned up there, right? Fighting made everybody have to do something there. I think I was drawing a self-defense ideal over there. So Wing Chun's specific goal then is defined as the centerline theory. So we're going to do a flip this school game. And our centerline theory wants to result in weapons, result in those distances. We want to result in being able to use it, right? And so we're going to flip this model around. We're going to find, well, what's the best starting point? Let's start with that. So that brings us over to this chart. And I don't want you to get distracted, so I'm going to zoom in down to the bottom real quick. So I've got my centerline theory. One move. Oh, look, that was dyslexia. Look at that, ladies and gentlemen. CLT, centerline theory, but then dyslexia Jeff. I just noticed that as I was making the film. It's been CTL on there for how many years? I made that decades ago. Anyway, so we've got our CTL down there, one move, Sunim Tao idea, and then I have the top of the Sunim Tao triangle in those four parts, And then we got our chum Q layer, and it comes up into this bucci layer, and then it comes up into over here. It says LP for long pole, and then it moves into this Latosa weapon system, and then going this way, the chum Q into the bucci goes into weapons defenses and self-defense, anti-grappling, anti-ground fighting, goes down that direction. And then look, I did this cool thing with the triangles. I made the watch them down come out that way into clinch elbows or something. All right, but the point is we're going to start in the middle and work our way up. And the point is we take that, it's still at the top, right? That's our goal. Our specific self-defense goal now is to do everything. And we're going to take our specific perfect self-defense, we're going to start with it at the bottom and end up there. And then those three things that everyone else is doing, we're also doing it. We're going to compress the roots. So it would be one of these, but upside down.
What you know about rolling?